What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Kid Taj, and welcome to the top 5 players from the 2011 NBA Draft. Now, I already know that this video is going to be hella controversial. I mean, everybody, like, the way I place these players on this list, people are going to be mad, okay? I already know that people are going to be mad. So, basically what I'm going to say is that this is my opinion. I will justify my opinion, but by no means do you have to believe it. By no means is it fact. It's just what I believe, and I'm going to tell you why I believe it, and hopefully I can make a logical conclusion as to why I believe that. So if you have any hate, please put it in the comment section, but maybe just an argument type, not really hating, because I think all these players are great. State your argument and why you think it. I'm going to get into this. Guys, this draft was absolutely loaded. There was so much talent in here. It was so hard to pick 5 guys, and the order of them is hard. And let's get into it. Everyone on this list is a star players, bro. At number 5, the 5th best player in the 2011 NBA draft, I went with Boston point guard Isaiah Thomas. He was picked 60th overall to the Sacramento Kings. He was a junior from Washington. That's what I'm reading here. Isaiah Thomas, we all know the story. Dude was picked 60th overall. Absolutely dead last in the NBA draft, and look at how he turned out. I mean, he's been a star this last season, putting up numbers about 22 points, 6 assists per game, leading a Celtics team that hadn't seen the playoffs in a long time to 2 straight. The last 2 seasons they were in the playoffs. Before that, it had been a little bit, and he's a big reason for that. He runs the show for them, and he's definitely had a successful career, and he's going to keep on improving. These guys are very young, and these guys are going to own the NBA in a few years if they don't already. At number 4, this is where it starts to get controversial. Guys, don't jump on me for this. I'm going to explain. I went with Cleveland Cavaliers point guard Kyrie Irving, picked first to Cleveland. He was a freshman from Duke University. So people might be mad. People might be saying, oh, Kyrie is 4th? What 3 players could be ahead of Kyrie? Kyrie was the second best player in the NBA Finals this year. He's a top 10 player in the NBA. You can say whatever you want, but when you look at the facts, Kyrie Irving isn't much more than a scorer. I say it all the time, people love scoring. NBA fans, especially casual ones, are obsessed with scoring ability and flash. Kyrie Irving might be the flashiest player in the NBA, and he's a great player. Don't get me wrong. Kyrie Irving is extremely deserving of the All-Star appearances he has. He's extremely deserving of what he's getting because he is a great NBA player. However, his lack of an all-around game, it really doesn't do him justice in this. I can't say, maybe that wasn't the right expression, but the point is Kyrie Irving is just not the best player on this list because he's not versatile enough. He's a scoring point guard, and he's one of the best scoring point guards in the NBA, but he's not really that good at anything else. Him playing with LeBron really helps display how great he is, because he doesn't need to do anything else. On a team with LeBron, it's like, okay, Kyrie can just dribble and shoot. That's all he's got to do, right? But he's not really proved anything, especially on defense. Defense is like the main thing here. Kyrie Irving is not a good defender by any means, and that's bad. And that actually did hurt them. And don't come at me like, oh, Kyrie Irving, basically the reason they won the finals. Kyrie Irving played very good in the finals, and he scored a lot of points, but there's no way that he's the reason they won the finals. He hit the big shot. He made a great play. He's a clutch player, and we should give him points for that, because clutch is not something that's easy to come by in the NBA. But when it comes down to it, Kyrie Irving is a one-dimensional scoring player, great player at that. But he's on LeBron's team, and I don't know if you guys have noticed, but over the course of the last few years, before LeBron came and games where LeBron sits out, the Cavs are awful. They're terrible. They went like 1-8 in 2014-15 or something like that. This last year they had a very bad record. Every time LeBron sits out, they do terrible. They're garbage when LeBron is not playing. Why? Because Kyrie Irving is not a leader. He's a great supplementary second option. He's the guy that, when LeBron LeBron's sidekick. That's what he is. And the thing is that that's not good enough to be top 3 on this list, especially without viable defensive abilities and point guard, playmaking vision. He's got to be more all around. At number 3, I went with Golden State 2 guard Klay Thompson. Picked 11th, the Golden State Warriors, the junior from Washington State University. Klay Thompson is a sharpshooter. Klay Thompson is less one-dimensional than Kyrie Irving. He's ahead of Kyrie Irving barely. Look, 2, 3, and 4 on this list are so close. You could really interchange them, if you want, because they're just so close. But I'm gonna make my argument here that Klay Thompson is better than Kyrie. I didn't want to put all these guys at the ties. That's not fun if I just tie everybody. I gotta make a list. So Klay Thompson's ahead of Kyrie. Why? Klay Thompson, yes, he's not a number 1 player either. He's not gonna be a number 1 player. Him and Kyrie have that in common. They're not number 1 players. Not the number 1 guy. The number 2 guy or number whatever. Okay, you know what I'm saying. But Klay Thompson is better than Kyrie Irving because he's better at what he does. He's like the 3-and-D mastermind. I mean, that's more than one dimension to his game. Kyrie's just a great scorer inside and out, right? He can score the ball. Klay Thompson, on the defensive end, that's where he really makes his money. I mean, the shooting is great. You love shooting. You love to space the floor. But if Klay Thompson didn't play that good defense, he wouldn't even be close to this list. He would just be a shooter. But 3-and-D is so important in today's NBA. It just helps your team. We know Klay Thompson won a ring, and last year he put up a very valiant effort in the NBA Finals in that loss to Cleveland. But Klay Thompson, I mean, he just does more. And the thing is about the guy, there's nothing that he does really badly, okay? Yeah, he's not that much of a playmaker. Kyrie's a much better ball handler, but Klay is like the traditional shooting guard. He's a shooter and defender, but he's so effective. Defense is underrated, guys. People don't appreciate defense. Klay Thompson plays good-ass defense. That's why he's here. And you know what? If you guys want an individual video about why Klay Thompson is better than Kyrie, or why this number 2 guy I'm about to say is better than both of these guys, barely, they're so close. I'm not disrespecting anyone. I'm just saying they're so damn close up on this list. At number 2, though, this one, I'm kind of worried about what people think about this, because it's Chicago Bulls shooting guard / small forward Jimmy Butler, picked 30th to Chicago in that draft, senior from Marquette University. Yes, he was the last pick in the first round of the draft. Huge draft steal for the Chicago Bulls. Now, why does Jimmy Butler go ahead of these guys? He's not won a finals. He's not been to a finals. He hasn't been to a conference finals. However, Jimmy Butler, as a number 1 option, is superior to both of these guys. That's why he's ahead of him, okay? I know that Klay Thompson might have a really nice impact on his team. He's a complementary player. Kyrie Irving is kind of like that too. Klay Thompson he's not going to lead a team. Kyrie Irving is not going to lead a team. And you might come at me and say, well, Jimmy Butler's not going to lead a team. Well, Jimmy Butler was stuck being the second option last season for most of the season. Derrick Rose and Jimmy Butler, as many people know, are just not a good combination whatsoever on the basketball court. Jimmy Butler, when Derrick Rose wasn't playing in the 12 games, yes, you might say it's a little small of a sample size, but this is when he was healthy. This is when Derrick Rose wasn't playing, when he had the keys to the offense. Jimmy Butler, they went something like 10-2 in those 12 games. 10-2, and what was the record? 42 and 40? He was better. He was a positive on offense. He was a positive on defense. And in those 12 games, he was running the offense, and his usage rate was through the roof. But they won, and he put up stats of 28 points, 8 assists, and 7 rebounds in those games without Derrick Rose. Unbelievable. MVP-type stats. That's what you get. That's the output you get from this guy when he's the number 1 guy. That's a true number 1 guy, because you know that Kyrie Irving and Klay Thompson will never put up numbers like 28, 7, and 8. They will put up numbers like 25, 3, and 3. Okay, maybe Kyrie will have some more assists than 3 assists, but you guys should get the point. Jimmy Butler, when he's given the opportunity, and that's why it might not stay, because this list still has some fluctuating to do. Maybe over the next few years we'll discover that Kyrie Irving is better than Jimmy Butler, or I will, because maybe y'all probably think that Klay Thompson should be higher on this list. We still have to wait and see, because this guy, when he's given the chance, he delivers. And I know y'all saw 53 on Philadelphia. I know y'all saw 40.5 against Toronto with that comeback. That was just unbelievable. I mean, that's what he can do. That's what he's capable of. But it's not like he's just scoring. This guy's a better defender than both Klay Thompson and Kyrie Irving. He defends at an incredibly high level. He's a better rebounder than both of them. He's a playmaker, probably better playmaker than both of them as well. You know, he's not the best outside shooter, but that's the only weakness to his game. He's an incredible slasher, gets to the line more than both of these guys. And, you know, when you give him that chance, I mean, he's going to do it. Here's my argument. This is like the best argument I can make right now. Look at the teams Klay Thompson and Kyrie Irving are on. Look at who their supporting players are. Klay Thompson is on a team right now with Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, and now Kevin Durant. I mean, that's a unanimous MVP, two-time MVP, a Defensive Player of the Year candidate, triple-double machine, and now you add another MVP to their team. So obviously, they're going to win a lot of games. Kyrie Irving, who does he play with? Oh, only the best player of our generation. LeBron James. Anyone on LeBron James's team is going to play better. It's just, we just become used to that. We've become accustomed to the fact that a guy on LeBron James's team is just going to play better. He's going to be better. Kyrie Irving is playing better, and they're winning games. You're always going to win games. That's why those guys were in the finals. It's not because they're individual efforts. I'm telling y'all, if Jimmy Butler had some good fits around him, if he was leading a team with some good role players that knew what they were doing, that would play the roles of you know, being effective. If he had LeBron's role players, I guarantee that he could get pretty far in the playoffs. And he's not LeBron, but he's pretty close. I'm not saying that like legacy-wise. I'm saying that like the amount of work he can put in if he's that number one guy and what he can do. Y'all don't know because maybe y'all don't follow him that close, but trust me, I know. Now, enough of that. At number one, this is like the easiest one on here. It's Kawhi Leonard, San Antonio Spurs small forward. He was picked 15th to the Indiana Pacers, immediately traded to the Spurs. He was a sophomore out of San Diego State. Kawhi Leonard, there's nothing much, that's not a lot that you can say that hasn't been said about him already by me, by anyone. He's the best defender on this list. Obviously, he's the best defender in the NBA. He's a top 3 player in the NBA by my standards. He's a top 10 offensive player and the top 1 defensive player, so he should be up there. There aren't a lot of players that can do what he does on both ends every night and win the amount of games that he can lead his team to. Yes, Kawhi Leonard is the leader of the San Antonio Spurs. He's been the leader of the San Antonio Spurs for the last year. He's got a good supporting cast, but he leads that. I mean, he plays unselfishly. He's extremely efficient, and he does everything you want from an athletic, versatile, defensive-based small forward. That's all for this video. I know y'all might have something to say about this, so please leave a comment about it. I'm going to be doing the 2010 NBA Draft review, top 5 players from that somewhere down the line, hopefully this week, something like that. And yeah, it's going to be all. Please comment an idea down below what you want to see out of these NBA videos, a gaming video, whatever. And that's going to be all. Peace.